My appraisal came in short. What do I do? Hey, I'm Channing. I'm a mortgage broker. And what do you do if your appraisal comes in short? For those of you who may not know, the appraisal is part of the mortgage process, and it's to verify that the bank and that the seller's home is worth what they're saying it's worth. So a licensed appraiser is hired to go out to the property and assess that property. They're going to look at the size of the property, the location of the property, and they're also going to look at the past sales of homes that are similar to the property typically within the last 6 months. And so if the appraisal comes in short, what do you do? Well, I'm going to give you the 4 things that can happen if you'll stay tuned to the end of this video. The first one, and the most complicated, is that you can challenge the appraisal. So just like I said, when the appraiser goes out, they are looking at comps of past sales as well as that property, and they can make some adjustments and do some different things to determine the value of the property. If the appraisal comes in low, the lender will be notified, the loan officer will be notified, and then they are going to notify you. Now, at this point, you can choose to challenge the appraisal. As the buyer, if you feel like they're not valuing the appraisal properly, or you love the house and you want to try to keep the deal going, you can challenge the appraisal, but you're going to need additional comps. And so what has to happen is you review the appraisal. Typically, you're going to want to do that with your real estate agent. And then once you've viewed that appraisal with them, they may help you find additional comps that the appraiser did not use when putting that appraisal together. And so at that point, what the lender is going to do is they'll take those comps, they complete a form, and they submit that form over to the AMC, or the appraisal management company, to then review it. And if they think that the comps can be used or they want to use them, then they will, and they can adjust the value of the appraisal from there. Now, it's important to note that they don't have to. They can deny this request. They in no way have to honor it, and they can provide you reasons why they didn't use those comps and used other comps, instead. Now, the only difference is that if you're utilizing a VA loan, there is a process for this called Tidewater, and it is a little more generous than all of the other loan programs. But that's the first option. You can challenge the appraisal to try to get a different value. After that, there's only a couple of different options, right? And the biggest question surrounding this is typically, am I stuck buying this house if it appraises low? And the answer to that question is no. The appraisal, if you look at your contract, at least in Louisiana, and I'm sure in most other states, as long as you haven't waived the appraisal contingency, which some people were back in 2020 and 2021 in order to get their offers accepted. But if you have not waived your appraisal contingency, then that is a new negotiation period if the appraisal comes in low. So the appraisal comes in low. Now you can renegotiate with the seller. And there's only a few different things that can happen. Number one, the seller agrees to just drop the price to the new appraised value, and everything continues to operate like it was. Your loan amount is reduced. Your down payment is reduced by the difference. It won't be significant typically unless it's a really, really low appraisal. And that's kind of the second option. Option number 2, the seller can reduce the cost of the house, agree to that, and then move forward. The third option is that you can choose to pay the difference. Let's say the house appraised for $250, you buying it for $255. You can choose to pay the additional $5,000 towards the purchase price to keep the deal alive. Now, remember, this is a negotiation. So if you're getting seller credits, you can maybe take away some seller credits, or, there's a lot of different things that can happen. But the third option is that you choose to pay the difference. And it could be $5,000. It really just depends on the difference of what it appraised for versus what you're purchasing it for. That is option number 2. And then, of course, the final option is everyone just walks away from the deal, and then you're off to go find a different property or a new home. Those are the 4 options, right? I said option number 3 is really option number 4. Is that the deal kind of falls apart and everybody walks away. That's what's going to happen, right? If the appraisal comes in low, one of those 4 things is going to happen. And even if you were to utilize option number 1, there's no guarantee that it will work. That if you challenge the appraisal, that you'll get a different value. And even if you do, there's no guarantee that the value will be what it needs to be or what the seller wants it to be. So that's how you prepare, right, for a low appraisal. That's why it's very important that you understand that appraisal fees are non-refundable, because they do go to the appraiser. and the appraiser is going to get paid whether he gives you the value you want or not. And so there's more that could be said on appraisals. I'll talk about that in a different video about how the whole process works, but I just wanted to answer that question. Well, what the heck do we do if this thing comes in short? So hopefully that helps you understand what happens with low appraisals. If you like the video, please like this video and please subscribe to the channel. As always, I'll see you later.